There are moments your mind should have buried years ago, but for some reason, it keeps dragging them back to the surface. A stupid thing you said, a weird moment, a social mistake, an awkward reaction. Something small, something old, something that should have disappeared by now. But instead, your brain replays it like it happened yesterday. And every time it comes back, it still carries emotion, still carries discomfort, still carries that sharp feeling of wanting to disappear. The strange part is, most of the time, nobody else remembers it. The people who were there have moved on. Life moved on, time moved on, but your mind didn't. And the reason is deeper than memory. It's identity. Embarrassing memories don't stay alive because the event was huge. They stay alive because your mind attached meaning to it. Your brain did not store it as something awkward happened. It stored it as this says something bad about me. That is why shame is so sticky. It does not just make you remember what happened. It makes you question who you were in that moment. Were you foolish, weak, weird, unworthy, less respected? And once a memory becomes connected to self-image, the brain stops treating it like a finished event. It keeps checking it again and again, trying to protect you from becoming that version of yourself in the future. But that protection turns into a trap, because now, instead of learning from the moment and moving on, you keep mentally living inside it. You replay it, reanalyze it, reinterpret people's faces, tones, reactions. You try to solve a moment that has already ended. But here's the truth. Most embarrassing memories survive because you keep feeding them with emotional attention. The brain assumes that what you repeatedly revisit must be important. So the more you obsess over it, the more your mind keeps it alive. And over time, the original moment becomes less painful than the story you built around it. The real damage is often not what happened. It is the private meaning you gave it. Sometimes you are not haunted by the memory itself. You are haunted by what you decided it proved about you. That you are socially awkward. That you are behind. That you ruined your image. That people saw something unacceptable in you. But most people are too busy managing their own insecurities to study yours for long. They noticed it for a second, then returned to their own lives. Meanwhile, you turned a passing moment into a permanent self-judgment. That is where the suffering comes from. The memory became a courtroom, and you made yourself the defendant every time it returns. But healing starts when you stop asking, "Why did I do that?" and start asking, "Why am I still using this moment as evidence against myself?" Because maybe the memory is not here to punish you. Maybe it is exposing an area where your self-worth is still fragile. Maybe it reveals how hard you are on yourself. Maybe it shows that you still believe one imperfect moment can define your value, but it cannot. One awkward version of you is not your final identity. One embarrassing chapter is not your full character. One human moment is not a life sentence. The truth is, your mind replays embarrassing memories not because you are broken, but because your brain is trying too hard to protect your image. And real peace begins when you stop treating old mistakes like personal proof and start treating them like something every human being eventually survives.